Welcome, welcome, welcome to Story Time with me, Miss Sheila. I hope you're having a wonderful and beautiful day. Today's story is called Granny's Kitchen, and they're from Jamaica, so let's see what they're cooking up. Okay. Shelly Ann lived on a beautiful island of Jamaica, where the sun is always shining and the weather is sweet. Her grandmother had lots of vegetables and fruit trees growing in her yard and all around her house. She even had a big mango tree. Shelley Ann liked to climb it or lie under it, snacking on mangoes all day long. I have actually had a mango from a tree in Jamaica when I was there once, and oh, it was so yummy. Have you? Gotta try it. Shelly Ann loved when her grandmother took her to the market to buy rice, which she would sometimes carry on the top of her head. That always made Shelly Ann laugh. Shelly Ann loved her grandmother. In fact, Granny was Shelly Ann's most favorite person in the whole wide world. One afternoon, Shelly Ann was picking vegetables in the garden when the scent of sweet peppers made her very hungry. So she went into the house to ask her grandmother for something to eat. Granny, how do you make dumplings? Granny smiled and said, Gal, you better can cook. And she promised to teach her. Granny pulled out her iron pot and recited the recipe to Shelly Ann from memory. Need 2 cups of flour with 3/4 cups of water, said Granny, and don't forget a pinch of salt. Shelly Ann rushed to the pantry to get the flour, her mouth watered as she imagined taking a bite of the soft, fluffy dumpling. But when she took them out of the frying pan, they were all black and burnt. I can't cook, cried Shelly Ann. Don't worry, said Granny. Dumplings burn easy if you leave them in the frying pan for too long. You will get it right next time. Yeah, you gotta keep trying. The next day, Shelly Ann was playing hopscotch on the sidewalk when she became hungry. See, her stomach going growl. So she went inside and asked her grandmother for something to eat. Granny, how do you make ackee? Granny replied, Gal, you better can cook. Granny pulled out her recipe card and read the instructions to Shelly Ann. Pick a ripe ackee that has split open on its own. Peel the ackee and boil only the yellow parts in water until tender. Then fry until cooked through. Make sure you don't ever eat the seeds. Luckily, Shelly Ann could just reach the bright orange fruit on the tree in Granny's backyard with the help. The yellow ackee swirled around the pot until it was soft and tender. When Shelly Ann was finished frying it, she thought the ackee looked a bit like scrambled eggs. But when she took a bite, the ackee was too soft. I can't cook, cried Shelly Ann. Don't worry, said Granny. Ackee is easy to overcook. You will get it right the next time. A few days later, Shelly Ann was skipping rope on the porch when her stomach rumbled. So she went to ask her grandmother for something to eat. Granny, how do you make saltfish? Granny smiled and answered, Gal, you better can cook. Granny went to the cupboard to pull out a skillet and to gather the ingredients. Soak the codfish in water for 2 hours and then saute all your vegetables and herbs and the saltfish. Add the saltfish, mix it all together and cook until tender. The scent of spices filled the entire kitchen, and Shelly Ann was so excited to try the fish. But when she took a bite, it was too salty. I can't cook, said Shelly Ann. Don't worry, you'll get it right next time, said Granny. The fish needs to soak a long time to make it less salty. And if she was too hungry, she probably didn't wait so long, maybe. The following morning, Shelly Ann was chasing chickens around the coop. She made It made her very hungry, so once again she went inside to ask her grandmother for something to eat. Granny, how do you make plantains? Granny grinned. I know, Shelly Ann said with a giggle. Gal, you better can cook. Granny laughed as she pulled out a frying pan and a spatula, picked some red plantains, and peel and slice them into the thin pieces. Fry the plantain slices in oil until brown and tender, Granny told Shelly Ann. Oh no. The slices of plantain popped and sizzled in the oil, and Shelly Ann's mouth watered. But when she took a bite, they were too mushy. I can't cook. Plantain slices need to be a little bit thinner, said Granny. Don't worry, you'll get it right next time. I don't want to learn how to cook anymore, Shelly Ann said. I've tried, and I never get it right. Granny wiped Shelly Ann's tears, then picked up her homemade recipe book and handed it to her granddaughter. If you try and don't succeed, try again. Yes, bravo, we had to keep trying. When Shelly Ann woke up the next morning, she noticed that Granny was still asleep, and she was very hungry. So she tiptoed into Granny's bedroom. Granny, whispered Shelly Ann, can you make me something good for breakfast? With a sigh, Granny replied, oh, I'm too tired to cook this morning. And she closed her eyes and went back to sleep. Shelly Ann went to the kitchen table and sat down. She opened the recipe book to find old pictures of family and friends from the neighborhood enjoying Granny's prize-winning dumplings. The smile on their faces reminded Shelly Ann how much joy Granny's dumplings bring to everyone. It must have taken Granny a lot of practice to make the perfect dumplings, Shelly Ann said to herself. Then she became excited. I just have to try again, Shelly Ann said. And don't forget the pinch of salt. She went out to the yard to gather what she needed. She hauled all the ingredients into the kitchen and pulled out a big Dutch pot and a skillet from the cupboard. She fried the dumplings, she cooked the ackee, she soaked the saltfish, and she sliced the plantain, just like Granny had taught her. And Shelly Ann put all the food onto two big plates and tiptoed into Granny's room. Oh, nice. Granny, she whispered, wake up. Oh, does that not look yummy? Granny opened her eyes. Dumplings? Ackee? Saltfish? And plantains? Granny was delighted. I would be too, yeah. Granny took one bite of the food. Then she took another and another. Gal, you can cook, Granny exclaimed. Shelly Ann beamed with joy. I can? Granny nodded and said, and it's even better because you made it with love. So true. You have to cook and do stuff with love. Shelly Ann was very proud of herself for making Granny the perfect breakfast. The dumplings were not burnt, well, maybe a little. The ackee was not too soft, most of it anyways. The saltfish was not too salty. Nothing a little pepper could fix. And plantains were not too mushy. At least the ones in the back weren't. Everything was Irene. And look, so at the back, they have the recipes of the different foods that Shelly Ann learned from her grandma. I so hope you enjoyed this story today, and I hope you remember, if you can't do something right the first time, or mess up the first time, keep trying until you'll get it. You will get it. Just gotta practice. Well, I hope you like this story. Until next time, with me, Miss Sheila. Keep shining your bright light and keep trying something new. Ciao for now.